Welcome to the Daily Decant, your 5-minute briefing on the world of wine. Each episode delivers practical insights to help you choose, order, and talk about wine with more confidence in everyday social settings. Let's get into today's decant. We are doing Germany week, and today we go to the part of German wine that most casual drinkers have never encountered, because most casual exposure to German wine involves the off-dry and sweet Mosel style rather than the powerful, dry, minerally Rieslings that have been made in the Rheingau and increasingly the Rheinhessen for centuries. This is the dry side of Germany, and it may be the most undervalued category in all of fine white wine. So let's talk about the Rheingau. It's situated in the northern bank of the Rhine Valley, just west of Frankfurt, where the river makes a wide westward bend to the south-facing slopes of the Tenus Hills. Above it receive extended sun exposure. The Rheingau has a longer documented history of winemaking than almost anywhere in the wine world. The Benedictine monks of Kloster Everbach were making wine here in the 12th century, and the classification systems they developed for their vineyards were among the earliest quality hierarchies in European wine. The wines of the Rheingau tend toward a richer, fuller, more structured expression of Riesling than the delicate filigree style of the Mosel. More body, less obvious sweetness in the top wines, with a certain grandeur and depth that reflects the broader, warmer character of the Rhine Valley relative to the cool, narrow Mosel. The classification system that matters most for understanding the Rheingau and German fine wine in general is the VDP, the Verband-Deutscher Prädikatsbindungsgüter, a private association of Germany's top estates that has developed its own quality hierarchy parallel to the official government system. The VDP classification runs from Gutswein at the entry level to Ortswein for village wines to Erste Lage for premier cru equivalent sites to the top tier Grosses Gewächs, abbreviated GG. A GG wine is dry, always fully dry, and made from the finest sites in Germany from member estates. It's the German wine equivalent of a Grand Cru, and it's best at its genuinely that caliber of wine. The historic Rheingau estate most worth knowing is Schloss Johannesburg. This is one of the most historically significant wine estates in Germany, with uninterrupted winemaking since the 1100s, producing serious Riesling from across the spectrum, from Cabernet to Trocken, Bayern, Auslese, in a style that reflects on centuries of accumulated knowledge about these specific hillsides. Weingut Robert Wheel, a modern benchmark for Rheingau Riesling, producing wines of extraordinary concentration and elegance from the Kiedricker Grafenberg vineyard, with particularly celebrated Auslese and above. And Georges Brieur, one of the pioneers of dry Riesling in Germany, whose Bergschlossberg GG is a benchmark for what fully dry Rheingau Riesling can achieve, with a structured mineral character that makes it one of the most food-friendly white wines in Germany. The Rheinhessen is next. Historically Germany's largest wine region by volume, and for most of the 20th century, the source of much of the country's bulk wine production, including the ubiquitous and undistinguished Liebfraumilch. The transformation that has occurred here in the last 2 decades is one of the most remarkable in European wine. A new generation of young winemakers, many of them trained in Burgundy or working with a Burgundian philosophy, has identified the best vineyard sites in Rheinhessen, particularly in the Rhine, terracin, limestone, and clay soils near the Rhine, and begun making wines of genuine ambition. Producers like Battenfield, Spanier, and Whitman are producing GG Rieslings that compete with the finest from the Rheingau or Mosel, often at more accessible prices. Practical takeaway here is that if you want to explore dry German Riesling, start with a Rheinhessen producer like Whitman at $25 to $40, and you'll get serious GG level quality at a price that reflects the region's still developing reputation rather than its actual quality. If you want to understand the Rheingau tradition, a bottle of Schloss Johannesburg at a comparable price is one of the most historically resonant wine experiences available in that range. One broader note that connects both regions: the movement toward dry Riesling in Germany over the last 2 decades has been one of the most significant developments in European white wine, producing wines that can compete directly with the white, dry Burgundy in both style and quality, but at a fraction of the price, and with almost none of the prestige market. The world has not fully caught up to this yet, and the buyers who catch up first will drink extraordinarily well at prices that will look very different once the reputation fully arrives. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about decoding the German wine label. You won't want to miss it. That's today's Daily Decant. If you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe and share with your friends so you can continue building your wine knowledge in just a few minutes a day. We'll see you tomorrow for the next decant.